As the 2024 NASCAR season looms closer, I think it's time I make my predictions for this season. I've never really made predictions on this channel before, so I think I'll just go over about 10 of my takes on what I think is going to happen, and then some random other predictions that really didn't fit in any category. I think I'm more excited for this Daytona 500 than ever before. I'm excited to watch the race after all the hype of the offseason. There's plenty of change, and I think that it'll be interesting to see what happens out on track. But one of the drivers that hasn't changed teams in like last year is Kyle Busch. Busch has been in the Cup Series for 20 years, and this is his 19th try at the Daytona 500. His one try that he missed was because he broke his damn legs. A driver racing for RCR without a Daytona 500 win on February 18th. Where have we seen this before? Kyle will certainly have the drive to win the 500, but will he have the luck? That's the question. Sure, Denny Hamlin might be coming off a good season with a couple statement wins and plenty of controversial moments, but he's gone 5 straight years without a points finish outside of the top 5. He's due for a letdown year, and that's okay with drivers of his caliber. Some years just won't go your way, and I can't shake the feeling that this year will be one of those years for him. Now watch him ditch the choke artist moniker and win it all this season. That'd be really, really funny. Spire Motorsports is a team that hasn't looked all too promising in recent years, but I think this year will be different. They bought Kyle Busch Motorsports for nearly $15 million and moved to their old shop. I think with the new shop and the addition of rookies Carson Hocevar and Zane Smith, they seem ready for a push out of mediocrity and into winning contention. My prediction is that Corey LaJoie will end up with at least a win by the end of the 2024 season, and overall the team will do better in the point standings. Alex Bowman has had a rough last 2 years with Hendrick, and at this point, a healthy season would be a good one for him. I think he's going to have a bounce back year, winning a couple times and making it relatively far into the playoffs. He's proven that he can win multiple times in a season. He just needs a healthy run to make it far. Chase Elliott was possibly the biggest disappointment of the 2023 NASCAR season. Everyone expected him to do great things, and while he did fight for wins, he missed 7 races either due to injury or suspension and DNF'd another further 5. Any way you slice it, not finishing a third of the races is horrible in the season and by any standard. For 2024, I don't think Elliott's going to have a great year by any sort of means, and I expect a rebuilding process much like Brad Keselowski's at RFK. I think he'll quietly make the playoffs and have a decent season much like Brad, but he won't make it that far. Ty Gibbs had a quietly mediocre rookie season in the Cup Series with 10 top 10s and 4 top 5s. I don't think he's quite there yet as a driver, but it is clear no matter how much he is hated throughout the NASCAR fandom, he has at least some genuine talent. I predict that Ty Gibbs will come away with this season with at least one win, which I predict will be at Richmond because he's good at short tracks. Harrison Burton and the Wood Brothers team have been one of the most disappointing teams in the past 2 seasons. Whether or not that's Harrison's fault or the team's fault is unknown, but what is known is that Harrison has started 72 races for the Wood Brothers and has only nabbed 4 top 10s in 2 seasons. Compared to the last 2 drivers that previously competed in the Wood Brothers, the stats do not look good for Burton. Going into his 3rd season with the team, he needs to do something to impress them, or he might be out of a ride sooner than people may realize. With Jimmy Johnson taking over at Legacy Motor Club, so far his tenure running the operations has not produced any good results. Noah Gragson was supposed to be battling Ty Gibbs for the Rookie of the Year honors last year, and he disappointed majorly even before his suspension. Mid-season, when they announced that they would be switching to Toyota, is when a lot of people realized that 2023 would be more of a transitional year for the team. I predict that with the new Camry combined with the more manufacturer support and plenty of money from new sponsors, Legacy Motor Club should take a major step forward going into 2024. I predict at least one of their drivers, probably Eric Jones, will win at least one race in this season. I think Brad Keselowski is quietly one of the most impressive drivers in NASCAR. In this past season, he's racked up 16 top 10s and 7 top 5s and made it in the round of 8 off of points alone. But in only 2 years, Brad has taken a team that was slowly dying and turned it into an arguably top 3 team in the sport. I think Brad's first 2 seasons running the operations at RFK were more towards gearing the team towards the future, making sure that the team had overall success in the next coming seasons. This season I think will be different, however, and I believe that Brad will start ripping off some wins, something he hasn't done since his Penske days in 2021. While there are quite a few rookies going into this season, I think there are 3 main rookies that will be contending for Rookie of the Year: Carson Hocevar, Josh Berry, and John Hunter Nemechek. While all 3 show a lot of promise and their exploits in the lower series prove why they should be in the Cup Series, I think there's a clear favorite for this honor, and my prediction for the 2024 Rookie of the Year goes to Josh Berry. He is simply in the most proven equipment with some decent experience in the next-gen car when he had to sub for Elliott and Bowman last year, and while the other 2 also have Cup experience, Barry is driving the flagship car for SHR and has a lot of expectations around him and the team. He needs to perform to keep his job, basically. Time for some playoff predictions. These drivers are in no particular order, but the 16 drivers that I think will make the playoffs this season in the NASCAR Cup Series are Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Corey LaJoie, Eric Jones, and Martin Truex Jr. As for some of my more random predictions, I think Zane Smith is going to do okay. I didn't really talk about him in my Rookie of the Year predictions, but I think he's going to do alright. I don't think he's going to do terribly bad. Maybe he'll get a top 5 or 2. I don't think he's running a full-time schedule, so we'll have to see what happens with him. Ryan Preece, he won't be horrible. I think he'll improve his second year at SHR. He's going to improve probably a little bit, have some impressive runs, maybe at some short tracks. Obviously, his horrible flip last year wasn't an improvement or anything, but I still have hope for him. Austin Cindric, he needs to improve now. He took Penske's number 1 car, or well, I guess number 2 in this case, and kind of has not been doing very good in it. It's just not been up to standard. He's only had a few top 10s, a few top 5s. He needs to improve, maybe get a win or 2. I thought he'd be doing much better at the road courses, but apparently he's not doing very well. SHR, I think, as a whole will improve, even though this season for them, this previous one, was not a good season. I think Chase Briscoe and Josh Berry are going to lead that team to maybe a bit more success than they had previously. Daniel Suarez, probably, he'll not be too bad. He won the Mexico Series race in LA. I stayed up to watch that. That was pretty interesting. Michael McDowell will be consistent and kind of forgotten about. I don't think he's going to make the playoffs. He probably won't have a win, but I could definitely see him doing about as good as he did this season, or this previous season. But yeah, and I have one more prediction. And lastly, for my predictions, for drivers and I guess team owners, Live Fast Racing, it does not look like they're going to be living or fast anytime soon. They sold their charter. They're going to be probably a part-time operation. They'll be lucky to even make the Daytona 500 this year. BJ McLeod basically has that team on life support. I think that they're not going to last the whole season, they'll at least last to the end of the season, but I don't think they're going to last much past that. Unfortunately, they are the only team from 2021 that has not won a race so far. They've gotten a few top 5s in the Daytona summer race, the 2022, 2021, both of those races they got top 5s in. But overall, I don't think Live Fast is going to last that long, which is unfortunate because I could tell the people on that team. I went to the Phoenix race. They were working harder or at least very hard on their car, and I believe that they deserve better than what they've been dealt. But that is about it for my predictions for this season. I didn't want to make a championship prediction. I'll make that once the playoffs roll around. But overall, thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Please remember to like and subscribe if you'd like the content that I have made. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.